Headphone Zone is clearly still quite busy with all of the collaborations with a whole bunch of other brands. Now, if you are wondering who or what brand is Pula, you're not alone, because I've myself never heard of this brand before, but it is a boutique brand that is catering to sound and a better experience all in all. So it's nice to see the level of quality that you get with a set of IEMs in this price range. Thank you to the folk at Headphone Zone for making this review possible by sending me this demo unit. All thoughts and opinions are my own as always. So let's jump quickly into how this is built and how its unboxing is. The unboxing of these IEMs does seem quite luxurious because it does come with a very nicely designed box and even the overall reveal of these earphones is very neatly done. And you also do see a little carry case when you unbox it, which is also quite nicely executed. Now, you do get a whole bunch of ear tips with this, about 7 different sets, some with a smaller or tighter bore and some with a larger bore. This will, of course, change the way your stage sort of is perceived, as well as the bass, which is a nice thing. You do get a cable and you also do get a 3.5 mm as well as a 4.4 balanced, which is quite cool. And the IEMs do also look quite nice. But just quickly about the little carry case you get. I've not really seen a carry case that's, comes in this design. They usually round or different sort of leatherette designs where you sort of pinch to open it. But this is sort of very cube-esque and it's got the brand name on it. It does look like leather, but it feels like it's some sort of a rexine. It's definitely not leather, but of course it is magnetically held, and the inside of it is some sort of like a suede material, which is quite nice. And of course your IEMs and cable will fit into this very snug, and even if you want to carry that extra attachment of the 4.4 or the 3.5 depending on what's plugged into the cable, it fits in very comfortably. Moving on to the cable, this is a braided cable. It's got a nice length on it. I think it's pretty standard. Now this does not come with a microphone, which is expected with music focused IEMs. If you do want a microphone with your set of earphones, I would recommend like what Headphone Zone has recently launched. It's a DAC amp cable, and that does have a microphone. I have tested that fairly recently. You can check that out if you want to. But yeah, this is a copper cable and it is silver plated, which is quite neat. It is executed well. I can't really fault this. It's pretty nicely done, and even the terminations of this, for that matter, it's got this sort of sort of ridged feel to it. It's nice and grippy when it comes to the barrel where it connects to the termination. And of course you can unscrew where the termination is, in the sense where you want to swap the 3.5 with 4.4, you can swap that out by sort of unscrewing this and tightening it up again for the new one. And the other side is of course executed to a 0.78 mm connection, and this also does have that similar ridged sort of finish, which is also quite nice. And then moving on to the IEMs, this is what I find quite interesting because this did look like a resin finish to me. Now I have seen a whole bunch of IEMs that have a different kind of painted texture to it, but on close inspection this didn't seem like that. So I did have to do a little digging to see what exactly this is. It is resin coated, so it is covered with resin, but what's inside is actually wood. So the grain on it you see inside is genuine, and it is going to be totally different to every other set of IEMs that in the same batch, even for that matter, because of how unique each piece of wood is. Now I myself really like the grain of wood, but I can see what they've tried to do over here. It's nice that they've given it this resin coating and all, but I would have really preferred if it was just the bare wood texture. I think that would have given it a very different look and feel, because every other IEM in the market right now is going for a similar look with that resin glossy finish. If it were just wood, it would have been absolutely stunning, and I hope that they can consider something like that in future iterations. And then on the inside of it, well, you will see this sort of contour. I've seen that IEMs that have this contour normally feel a lot more comfortable than IEMs that don't have it. So it's nice that they've sort of kept comfort in mind, of course. And of course, when it comes to the overall comfort of this, well, I haven't really felt any discomfort with this. But one thing I will say is I have sometimes felt like the left IEM doesn't fit as snug as it should, despite cycling through a different set of ear tips. So this might be because it has, I think this is because it has a shorter stem. So this is something you'll have to keep in mind. But also I do have a smaller left concha, so that could also contribute towards how this feels. But once I get the position absolutely right, it's pretty comfortable to wear for hours on end. This comes with a 10 mm beryllium coated dynamic driver, has a frequency response of 20 Hz all the way up to 20 kHz, and it has a very easy to drive low resistance of just 32 ohms. Now I have paired this with a Rose's Elsa RZ550. That's the one sort of DAC amp I have that has a 3.5 and a 4.4 balanced output. So I must say it works pretty well with that. In fact, when it's plugged into my phone, I do have an Android. When I'm plugged into that, it's doing perfectly fine at about 20 to 25% volume output. Now, I do suspect that the Android system does tend to send an exaggerated signal, which is why I have to boost it only that much. Because when I was plugging it into my Mac, I'm going to maybe about 40% over there for it to be equal to. So anyway, that's something to keep in mind if you've got an Android device. But yeah, volume wise, I think it's fine. If you're using an Android, maybe don't go above 35-40% because it can get a little too loud, and if you intend on preserving your hearing, keep your volumes low. And then moving on to the soundstage. Well, soundstage on this is it's what I've come to expect from a lot of IEMs in this price range. There is that slight vertical stage where it will sit, maybe just slightly above my eyebrow. In some cases, it depends on the recording, of course. It does have a nice wide stage in the sense it does sit slightly out of the IEMs with some instruments in some cases. But I do find that this varies depending on some recordings. Obviously, the recording and master matters. But also the switch between the 3.5 to 4.4. The 4.4 makes things a lot cleaner. It makes things a lot more apparent. So if you feel your music should be a little wider in some cases where it feels like it's trying to do that but not getting there, swap from the 3.5 to the 4.4. It should be able to pull that off. So soundstage wise, I'd say it's pretty good. Imaging wise, it's pretty clean sounding. I wouldn't say it's razor sharp where it's sort of cutting through your eardrum. It's pretty calm with its imaging. It's pretty soft in the sense it's not going to cause any sort of fatigue, because there are some IEMs that try to over accentuate detail to the extent where it's uncomfortable over time. This doesn't do that. So I really like how they've tuned it in this aspect. Now, one thing I do want to mention is it has been difficult to fault these IEMs. I have thoroughly enjoyed listening to this over the many hours that I've spent with it. But one thing I will say, because I am trying to fault this, when it comes to its timbre, it's not the most natural sounding set of IEMs out there. Then again, if you want some absolute naturality, you have to look at something like a studio tuning. This does not have that tuning. It's more of a sort of balanced layout. So it does it well. So you have to sort of have something positive that will have something that it takes away. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're looking for naturality, I think there might be some other IEMs out there that do a slightly better job. But this, having said that, this is not bad at all. It's pretty good. But it's me really sort of nitpicking to find something negative. But anyway, moving on to the highs, mids, and lows. Like I did mention, it's kind of balanced. And I kind of find it very interesting the way they've tuned the highs, because there is definitely a bit of an accentuation, but they've tuned it in such a way where it is absolutely not going to offend. I wouldn't say it's safely tuned, because then it wouldn't carry enough detail. It has definitely carried enough sort of detail. It's very good with percussive instruments. All the very soft, distant sounds. Let's say if you're listening to an orchestra and there's a guy who's very gently hit a triangle in the back, you can hear that very distinctly. So it has that sense of dimension even when you're listening to those kind of recordings. It genuinely does it very well. Now the mid-range is tuned in a sense where the upper mids are a bit elevated compared to the lower mids. It's obvious because they wanted to accentuate the lower frequencies. So in this case, what happens is you normally would expect things to get sibilant, but with everything that I've thrown at it, I've not really had an issue. It's just somehow stays so far away from being fatiguing. I've not had issues with sibilance. I've not had any issues with the mid-range sort of being a little too piercing or a little too forward. It is carried over very well. For that matter, one thing I will say, that I like that the mid-range isn't as in your face as it can be with some forward sounding IEMs in this price range. This sort of has a slight step back. And at the same time, it's got terrific layering between instrument and vocal separation. So honestly, for something that costs as much as this, it performs terrifically well. I think it should sit in a higher price bracket for certain. Again, if I'm trying to find fault, again, I'm really nitpicking. I wish there were a little more roundedness in the lower mids, but I can see why they've not done that, because they've tried to accentuate lower frequencies. But having said that, this is it has a good amount of weight to it. It's not that the vocals get thin, because they've recessed the lower mids. Vocals do sound rounded. They do have life in them. It's not like they're just tinny, like someone singing with a cold. It does have a good amount of weight to it, but only if you're really sort of used to a studio kind of tuning will you notice that male vocals can sound slightly anemic. But anyway, moving on to the lower frequencies. This is, I think, where these IEMs do pretty well, and the fact that it has as much bass as it does while maintaining detail and upper mids and high frequencies is nothing short of sensational, especially for a single dynamic driver. And one thing I will say is there are a lot of brands who are trying to do 10 drivers and 16 drivers or 5 drivers per IEM. Maybe not per IEM, but totally. But it really is an art form to be able to make one driver have a terrific clarity across the board. And one thing I will say is that this is terrifically dynamic. It is terrifically a very good transparent sounding set of IEMs. You are able to tell what a bad recording is. I was listening to a whole bunch of songs until I started testing the bass in particular, and it made it very clear that when I was listening to one of these songs that this was definitely a very bad mix. It was a very bad recording. So the bass, coming to the bass, it does have a weight and a size to it that you wouldn't normally expect IEMs to have, because I found that a lot of them tend to like to be a lot flatter in tuning, at least some of the ones I've listened to that I like personally. I prefer that tuning over this, but I think a lot of people will enjoy this because the accentuation in the bass is certainly a lot of fun. It's got a sense of tightness and kick to it. It's got a good amount of energy over here. And at the same time, it's not sort of getting, well, it's definitely not getting bloated, but at the same time, it's not wafting. There are some in some cases, speakers or IEMs that try too hard and they're not able to do it. This has a very good composure over here. It's certainly well textured, it's certainly well defined, but I will say that I prefer how the bass sounds with the wider bore than with the tighter bore, because it's definitely easier sounding. It's sort of more composed sounding with that bore for my taste in music. So to sum up, if you are looking for a set of IEMs that sounds exceptionally good for the price, has terrific value for money, I think this might be one of the set of IEMs that I'd say is terrific value for money. It is not the most affordable IEMs, I agree. It's sort of mid-range, sitting over there. But it definitely is, and I think it will be able to hit way above its weight. In fact, considering how good this sounds, I'd be very keen to hear what Pula Audio has in store when it comes to its other IEMs, be it affordable or more expensive, because this is genuinely properly done. It sounds like the people at Pula Audio have sat and actually wanted to cater towards audio more than anything else. Then again, at the same time, the overall finish doesn't let you know that, because they've definitely spent a good amount of time and effort, love and energy towards its overall fit and finish. But yeah, I must say the overall sound is it's inoffensive. I think a lot of people are going to like it. Something that's not going to pierce in the highs, it's not sibilant, and at the same time there's a good amount of heft in the low frequencies, so it makes everything fun, be it gaming or whatever else. So I think a very good combination with this would be one of Headphone Zone's cables that I tested recently, because that does have a microphone. So if you are a gamer, I think using that with this will be a very solid pairing for gaming. And this is definitely built to last you a very long time. I don't think it's going to give up anytime soon. And plus, there's no battery to give up in 1.5 years or any time shorter than that. So anyway, moving on to the price. If you do want to buy these, Of course, you can buy these from the Headphone Zone website. Now, this does have an MRP of about 11,999. I don't know if it's on specifically discount for a limited amount of time, or if this is the standard price, but it is being sold at the time of recording this video at 6,999 rupees. So honestly, right now it is super value for money. And honestly, if you're watching this video later and if the price happens to go up to maybe an 8,999, I'd say it's still well worth it, because this is, it's properly good. They've done a sensational job with the overall audio. And yeah, I think a big reason why Headphone Zone has collaborated with them is to bring better sound over here. And I think they'd be happy to be noticed in this market as well. So anyway, I do hope that this video has given you a better understanding for the Unicrom, the Pula Audio Unicrom in collaboration with Headphone Zone. And I do hope that will help you make some sort of purchase decision. If you would like to help support the channel, I'm sure you know exactly how to. But of course, thank you for tuning in for some sound advice.